I couldn't be further away from the Middle East right now.
When you are here, you go to the dentist, you go to the...
Yeah, exactly. Do the dentist, doctor routine, get checked up, get sleep and fed. It is bizarre to, be hanging out around the corner from the 7-Eleven and elementary school that you spent your childhood at. Yeah, returning to that life that I grew up in is very much part of the concept of what it means to be away from the Middle East. Whereas the Middle East for the past 7 years has been where home is and where work happens.
Your parents are anxious of what's going for you in Egypt?
Yeah, they're pretty nervous. They've been worried every time I've gone, and it's understandable.
What kind of advice your father give you?
Don't get arrested. Call us if you need anything. You sure you don't want to report on 5-alarm fires in Smithville, Ontario? There's no doubt that if I were reporting in Toronto or living in the West, and reporting on the issues that I've reported on living here before, it would be considerably safer. This is what I carry with my passports. My assignment letter from Now Magazine just listing me as working journalist in the region. Assignment letters are the life and death of whether you get credentials or not. Without this, I can find myself in a lot more trouble. I've talked to editors before going in Egypt, see if there is interest, and there is, seems that there is interest in my work from there.
What kind of journalist you are?
I'm a freelancer, which means that I'm not tied to any particular company or publication.
Do they propose you something to do?
Primarily, no, it's freelancing, and so my own initiative, and I have to go seek these out, and I have to fight to get these stories in as well. You pitch several times, you call, you make sure that they are dealing with the story, and you make them convinced about how important it is. It's often just as much work pitching a story as it is writing it.
Well, why you decide to cover the election in Egypt, even the risky situation?
Because the story of the Arab revolutions and their future hinge on what happens in Egypt, and very much what happens in Cairo particularly. And that story and that issue of the transition going on in the Arab world is the fundamentally most important issue to happen in the Middle East today. Cairo is the bellwether for what is happening within the region, what people are fighting for, what the struggle of self-determination means.
You never get used to it. It's, as I said, it's easier to pick him up from the airport when he's coming here than when he abandons us and goes to goes to the Middle East. It's always difficult.
Muslim في تحرير. Adad? Okay. Santiago, get in.
And where we are going?
We're on our way to Tahrir Square where there are pro-Sisi celebrations going on right now.
We're at Tahrir.
Yeah, but we're about to die, so. Keep headphones in your ear so we can communicate. If shit goes south, you listen to every one of my instructions incredibly quickly, because if people decide they hate the press, we are gonna have to get the fuck out of here. بحكي انجليزي شوي. بحكي انجليزي شوي. ليش يا رابع؟ هنا كتير سيسي يعني مجنون. ليش رابع؟ The Sisi celebrations. I was just saying, I've seen many things in Tahrir, and this is by far the most depressing. The last time I was in Tahrir, over there were two burned out police vans, and people were decrying the army and the police force. Now they're all here to cheer on the general. I'm just writing a pitch to my editor at the Daily Beast about election day coverage, seeing if he's interested in me covering who's turning up to the polls. They have a large American audience, and they are quite interested in Egypt and quite open to letting me call it how it actually is.
A low voter turnout has forced the Election Commission to extend the vote by an extra day. Former Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Sisi urged Egyptians to come out in large numbers. His critics say this election is meant to legitimize his grip on power. The only other candidate is Hamdeen Sabahi. He urged the youth to support his bid for the presidency. Egypt is divided, but those who are heading to the polls believe this election will bring much needed stability.
Hi, it's Jesse Rosenfeld from the Daily Beast calling. I'm looking for some information about election observers, both international and domestic, for today's election, and was wondering if you had an idea of how many election observers were out. Okay. What do you say to people who say, why would we go and vote in an election where a general that led the coup is going to take power? There's no chance for any real democracy.
The answer is we support Hamdeen Sabahi because we need a real social justice. We support Hamdeen Sabahi because we need a civil regime, not a masked military regime and a civil suite.
Jesse Rosenfeld, thank you. Are you voting or are you boycotting the vote?
انت مقاطع للانتخابات ولا انت رحت تنتخب؟
لا مقاطع للانتخابات.
بويكوت.
اتفضل اسمع حضرتك ان لم اقاطع لهذه الانتخابات سوف يظل الحكم العسكري 60 سنة كما كان من 52 إلى هذا الوقت 60 عاما آخر.
Why do you not support Hamdeen Sabahi?
وليه ما أيدتش حمدين صباحي كمرشح مدني؟
كان في مسرحيه بينها اشتاك وبين كومبارس، لا يصلح هذا ولا ذاك.
Okay. شكرا كثير.
شكرا ميرسي.
Who are you supporting in the election?
رشحت المشير عبد الفتاح.
She support Sisi for the candidate.
Why?
اللي احنا بنحبه قوي.
Because we love him. We love him too much.
وأملنا فيه. أملنا بعد ربنا فيه.
And after God, our hope is in him.
Sisi songs?
أيقونة مصر. الكوارث من الإخوان والإرهابيين. أنتوا مش شايفين اللي عملوه فينا؟ سنة واحدة عملوا فينا كده، كانوا بيدبحونا ويموتونا. عايزين إيه تاني أكتر من كده؟ إن شاء الله إحنا معاه، كل مصر معاه.
كلنا هنشتغل معاه.
كلنا معاه. Thank you very much.
And you're from Cairo?
Yes, Zamalek.
And we have to ask you this, but what is your age? We have to ask.
Over 60. Over 70.
Will you vote? No. Why?
Good.
We're busy, man.
It's funny that a lot of the journalists have this big pool going on or guessing of how much Sisi will win by. Some say
75% they say.
You think Sabaki will get as much as 25%?
Sabahi will not get more than 3%. 2-3%. That's all. Look, Sisi has done great thing. He get out brotherhood out of the state. And me as Egyptian speaking. And I know that he has been in a way forced, not only from inside of Egypt, but also from the Arab countries, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, because their security and their thrones are depending on the leadership in Egypt, which is mainly from the army.
Well, the one thing that scared those states the most was the Arab revolutions, and
Exactly.
here is where it took off. So here is where they want to turn it back.
It shouldn't succeed. So we are outside of the whole context of the revolution.
Queued calmly under the watch of a huge security operation mounted by the military.
On the streets of Cairo, pictures of Sisi in full military garb were plastered on billboards and hang from lampposts. Although he's attempted a cosmetic change by appearing in television interviews in suits rather than uniform, Sisi still speaks like a general. So, this election is more about legitimizing authoritarianism than it is about establishing a democratic process.
You sent the article at midnight yesterday, and now it's.
Oh, it was published within 20 minutes. I only realized an hour after it had actually been published.
It was exactly what your editor was waiting for.
Yeah, he seemed pretty happy with it.
عبد الفتاح السيسي لرئاسة الجمهورية.
سيسي كتير.
طب انت جاي تصور ليه هنا؟ ايه اللي يهمك هنا يعني عشان تيجي تصور هنا تاخد بلدك هنا؟ مش فاهم حاجة طبعا.
أنا؟
No understand.
صح؟ يعني شوي.
يا عم كنت لازم تعرف عربي عشان تعرف تاخد أخبار كويسة. مش كل الناس هنا بتتكلم إنجليزي.
أسف؟
والله ما أنت فاهم حاجة. How old are you?
28.
28؟
نعم. I know. ليه؟ انت
كام؟
how old are you?
كام؟
30
32
32 والله
كده.
تسلم وشكرا كثير.
اي خدمة.
We're in the courtroom for the Al Jazeera trial hearing. The Al Jazeera journalists have been charged with spreading false news and terrorism. It's been an absurd kangaroo court throughout the process. The Al Jazeera trial has really been about sort of exposing the kinds of conspiracy theories that have been mounted against independent and critical voices in Egypt. You see the constant jailing of people who've been rounded up, and there's no semblance of any sort of fair trial. What is today's hearing exposed to you about the trial?
It shows that this whole trial is a farce, and I will not accept that we spend 6 months in prison. We are hostages in a political debacle between Egypt, Qatar, and whoever their allies are. Democracy is about free speech. Free speech is part of democracy. Now we're supposed to be in a democratic Egypt and a new Egypt. As a journalist, I will not be silenced and I will not be threatened. After I'm acquitted, I'm going to continue doing my job with the same exact conviction I had before.
It was the official news which had been expected. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi won 96.91% of the vote.
أنا صحفي مش مشكلة.
ده ممنوع يصور.
Today this is one of the democracy day. Our General Sisi has become our next president. He is come by democracy way. We are through elections. Okay, he came through election.
Time to go.
I would like to send the message to Canadian people. All the Egyptian people love it. All the Egyptian people love it Canadian. And they love it all the world. We open our hands for all the world.
Santiago, stop filming and move now. You should listen. Keep something in your ear. I find it incredibly difficult to watch what the military government in Egypt is doing right now. But what I find far more difficult is that it has very strong and broad parts of Egyptian society supporting it. That is a very dangerous sign for the progress of the revolution. It's almost as if Mubarak had been whited out and al-Sisi plastered over him.
אחי, סליחה?
They don't give a shit, Alan.
אחי, סליחה?
No, there's a transporting tank down south.
Do you know what's going on?
What's
happening?
There were rocks thrown on the road.
One of the many joys of traveling in occupied territory. What's the problem?
Road is closed now.
Why is the road closed?
Because security measures.
What's the security problem?
Yeah, we have some problem. We're gonna solve it, don't worry.
I know, I'm just curious. What's the problem?
Throwing some stones on the road and some Molotov cocktails, you know?
Hi. They were just telling me
Yeah,
that it was rock throwing
he was just telling me.
on the street.
Yeah. So, are we able to turn around, or we'll just have to wait
I
here?
don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, lot of cars.
It's a road that runs right through the heart of the West Bank, and it's a Israeli-only road that links Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And although you have all sorts of Palestinian villages here that could link to Ramallah through it, they're not allowed to use it because they're Palestinian.
It's like an apartheid highway. Or...
Yeah, I mean, it's called the Apartheid Road.
Look at all these fucking rocks, dude.
Holy shit!
What?
Big ass clashes.
Fucking up here too? What? What the fuck?
Jesus. كيفك؟ شو أخبارك؟ Jesse.
Mark.
Nice to meet you. You too.
For whom will you work?
I'm with The Nation magazine and The Daily Beast.
This is from the army?
Yeah, they're shooting flares to light up the sky.
This is normal clashes or not?
No, these clashes are huge. I haven't seen anything like this in God knows how long. I mean, you have tire fires going all up the street. It's a hell of a lot different now than it was in December. Oh, fuck. That's a skunk. It's the shit water that they spray and it sticks to people and smells like a skunk for a long time. Oh, God. That's the skunk, all right.
Their bodies were found with gunshot wounds last Monday near the city of Hebron.
You were in Cairo and you decided to go to Palestine?
Yeah, I just felt that things were starting to get heated here. 3 settlers were kidnapped near Hebron. There were race riots immediately after the bodies were found. The day after, there were riots in Jerusalem, and groups of Jerusalem young boys have been walking around looking for Palestinians to assault. And it was in this context that a Palestinian in East Jerusalem was abducted and basically tortured to death. He was burned to death.
Palestinians continued to protest against the murder of 17-year-old.
Is it the start of the third intifada? Everyone talk about that, or you don't know?
Intifadas and uprisings are hard to predict.
Because like 1 month ago, they were not
Yeah,
of that.
but what has fundamentally changed is that exhaustion has turned into an outpouring of rage. Now the entire world's attention is completely disproportionately focused here. This is my first story for the Daily Beast that has been their absolute top story on their site. And this is a place that Americans pay attention to.
Okay, and today is your vacation day?
Yep, day off. Going to the beach. Because you know what time it is? Fuck this shit o'clock! تاكسي يا لوت؟ نعم. في 3. ايوه. لا 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 60 50 50 يعني 60 كويس 65 كله تمام يلا. Alright guys, get in. Have your passports ready, brother? Jordanian border, Israel. In many ways, the way that I constantly travel between the West Bank and Israel and Gaza is the most free way to live within the region. I'm not Palestinian, which means I basically travel around as freely as the society I would like to see emerge, writing about how that doesn't happen. Netanyahu instructed Israeli army to prepare for a possible ground offensive. I can't see what they'd want in war in Gaza at this point, though.
Yesterday there would have been no point to go to the south, but now that they moved another 40,000 soldiers.
No, they're just debating calling them up. They haven't moved them yet.
They sent them. I just got the tweet.
There it is. 40,000 deployed to
Oh,
the
that's
border
true.
with Gaza.
What does Jody say about
And it's not just any soldiers. In Pillar of Cloud, they deployed basically support crews. Now they're deploying fighter crews. They're deploying basically the top elite commando units, the Air Force, and the infantry.
I have fixers in Gaza. I can go there.
Oh.
If there's a war in Gaza, I'll go cover it.
Great. I'll call you and I'll ask for updates. You don't have the resources or the capacity to cover this well enough from Gaza. You're going to go there, you're going to run around, you're going to have CNN crews and Fox News is flying past you in bulletproof vests. If I were you, I would assess your resources intelligently. There's certainly no point sitting in coffee shops and talking about it.
Israeli tanks are positioned outside the entrances to Gaza, awaiting orders to invade. The Israeli military successfully intercepted another Hamas rocket fired from Gaza toward Tel Aviv. Hamas, however, has had no such success defending against Israeli counterattacks.
In the last 7 minutes, another rocket reached Tel Aviv. But we can say for sure that in Ramat Gan and Givatayim, there were sirens, meaning... Are you writing this down?
No.
Why am I translating for you?
Pardon me.
I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm also trying to confirm stuff with other people.
Fuck, it's hot in here. So they're advertising the phone number to call in case your kids are traumatized by the rockets.
Oh my god.
What do you mean, oh my god?
Traumatized by that?
The first thing I remember from this fucking country is sitting in bomb shelters because Saddam Hussein was going to kill us.
350 rockets fired in 24 hours. Only one rocket hit a house. So 16 dead in Gaza.
Shit. 18 dead. Fucking hell. 19 dead. Oh, plus the two that got through the border, which now I'm getting from Channel 2 that it's 3, so that's 19, that's 20 dead.
It's Jesse Rosenfeld from the Daily Beast calling. How are you? Are you taking the rocket sirens over central Israel as an escalation, and is the government intending to escalate its response? And are you concerned that Israeli escalation in Gaza could inflame the already tense West Bank and have things boil over there? Isn't that a major concern for the government right now?
We are acting to protect our people.
But wouldn't an escalation in the West Bank as well as a result of conflict in Gaza endanger Israelis as well? Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
So that our conversation was?
With an anonymous official.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks so much. All the best. Bye.
Three days of Israeli airstrikes now on Gaza have killed at least 81 people, 14 children among those reported to have died.
It is a terrible tragedy if any innocent people are killed.
You're not afraid to go there?
Oh yeah, of course I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
What are the dangers that you can face?
I mean, I have absolutely no desire to be blown up by an Israeli bomb that's hitting Gaza City. I'm just waiting for interest and backing, because I'm not going to do this without the support of a publication. Gaza's incredibly expensive. And working with fixers there and drivers can easily cost you itself $150 a day, plus you have living accommodation, and so you need a publication to pick up those costs. You need people that are committed to you, to backing you if you're walking into the middle of a war zone. It's incredibly dangerous, but it's also incredibly important to tell the story of what the cost of Israel's war is on Palestinians in Gaza. There will be a lot more Palestinians killed today. That's fairly clear.
Israel's patience is close to breaking point. Tank columns continue to take up positions today, while some of the Palestinian population in northern Gaza has reportedly been warned to leave their homes. The army says it's ready to invade Gaza to stop the rockets. All it needs now is the government order.
Wait, you think the sirens will go at 9 then? Okay, no. That's exactly what I kind of want to see. So we'll get downtown. Either that, or we'll be in a car when everyone pulls over on the side of the road and runs for cover.
Oh, there's their sirens.
Yeah.
What do we do? Should we get out?
Yeah, pull over. Lock the door. That's the Iron Dome. You can tell from the boom in the air. If it sounds like something's getting shot out of the air.
They fired at 9:07. The Iron Dome anti-missile system did its job, tracking the missiles, hitting them head-on, destroying them. Hamas fired at least 4 missiles at Tel Aviv. No damage, no casualties, thanks to Iron Dome.
What is this, Leah?
It's an Iron Dome battery.
Is it?
Yeah.
They're moving it down south, I guess. I figured they'd be moving them north. Are you sure this is an Iron Dome battery?
Yes.
Because missiles started falling from the north, whereas the south they've had covered for a while.
Jesse, listen, I'm not arguing with you. Are we speculating about speculations?
No, I mean, I just figured they'd have enough to cover the south and cover the central part of the country.
I don't understand.
So that's why they wouldn't be moving them from factories. If they had to move them anywhere, you figured they would be
There's more
redeploying
than
north.
150 rockets coming out of Gaza every day, and there's 2 rockets coming from the north in 6 days.
Most of the rockets seem to be
as the leader of the country,
that has them, what would you do?
Because the north isn't covered right now. They've got
How do you know that? Where did you pull that out? Are you...
Yes.
This is an idiotic argument.
נראית ממש ממש באופק. כרגע צה"ל מתכוון להחריף את התקופות מהאוויר, לנסות למצות את המערכה הזאת בצפון הרצועה. נדמה לי שאנחנו הולכים ומתקרבים לפעולה קרקעית.
In about 10 minutes, the IDF, according to the radio, is going to intensify bombardment of the Gaza Strip. Like, where we are right now is like very high number of rockets.
This is why the people are going back?
This is probably why people are going in the opposite direction. What is that in the sky?
Yeah, it's flying right next to us. It's heading directly towards Gaza.
Does it have military striking force?
Yeah, it has Hellfire missiles. It's an American attack helicopter, so maybe it delivered a response.
Just keep an eye out for missiles and rockets.
Do you guys have someone in Gaza right now?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on my editors to say go.
Yeah.
We are looking like this. Directly in front of us is the northern Gaza Strip.
Right.
There's the Gaza Strip beginning.
Oh, I can see it.
This is the closest point that you can get an Israeli to the Gaza Strip.
Well, if we're near the north, this is where the Israelis would presumably be building up. So let's go right, and then if we don't see anything, we go left.
You want to go where the bombs are?
No, I'm saying I want to go where the army is.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, good.
Is this the closed military order?
It's what?
Is this the military zone?
Order, yeah.
That's the order?
Yeah, you cannot allow to enter to this one.
Even with a press card?
No one can go inside.
Stand up. Guys, let's go.
Guys, monsieur.
I finally got, my editor said, my editor's boss said that she'd send me a letter, a letter for the press card, so I should be able to get that and get to Gaza soon. Okay, cool. So I'll hopefully see you in Gaza in the next few days. All right, and have Dylan send me that info. Okay, thanks. Bye.
On Thursday, Israel launched a ground invasion along with the air attack on Gaza.
Israel ordered Palestinian civilians to leave their homes for their own safety.
Defensive, and the Palestinians will be able to receive food, medicine.
Since Israel unleashed its military on the Strip, and the number of casualties is rising, not by the day, but by the hour.
Total in Gaza now stands at over 150, with over 900 people wounded. Inside Israel, there have been no deaths from the rocket attack.
Now, staying with this story and more on the Palestinian perspective, we're joined by Jesse Rosenfeld, based in Gaza. Jesse, what's been the reaction on the Palestinian side?
People in Gaza at this point are war-weary, they're exhausted, and they're shocked and they're frightened, but at the same time, they are determined to see through their goals of ending the blockade, and they are united behind the idea that if resistance has to get there, they will continue to support fighting.
Where there is no fighting, there is devastation. This was the scene awaiting people who returned to the town of Huzair in Khan Yunis.
An Al Jazeera team arrived at Khuzair to find people retrieving decomposing bodies from homes.
It is a mass execution of 6 Palestinian youths who were brought to this bathroom. Look at the gunshots on the wall.
The body were there or not?
Yeah, there were some that were still there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was the last, and some were coming out and some were still there, and you just look and there's these bodies on the floor and you look, there's a clean line of machine gun fire that cuts across 2 walls, and you look around and, you know, amidst the caked in black flesh, there's bullet casings everywhere. They've been bloating and bloating corpses, but you could tell they were prisoners because they didn't have any other weapons on them. They had their military fatigue. Some were barefoot. And you find the signs of this room that horrifically smells like death in this way that still haunts you. You'd see all the telltale signs of this being a place where people were killed in a cold-blooded, run-of-the-mill fashion. Like it was clear that wasn't a firefight there. Nobody does anything. And then you wake up the next morning wondering what atrocity was committed while you sleep, and you do the same thing again. Day in and day out. Until you can't anymore. And even once you can't anymore, you still do it for a while. Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of prissy and annoying. Yeah. Well, if you want anyone to make your argument as to why I should stay that I should stay in Palestine and not go to Iraq, Dina will be that person. Okay, talk to you then. Bye, Dad.
He's looking for someone to convince you not to go to Iraq?
No, he's given up on that. I think he's just hoping.
Yeah.
They just understand that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so have resigned themselves. I know I can do it, and I know I can tell the stories well, and that I can get to the place where it's hardest to hear about what's happening to people and tell what their lives are like and how they see things happening. If I can do this, then I should do it for a while and tell those stories.
Canada will send fighter jets to carry out airstrikes on IS targets in Iraq for a period of 6 months. Prime Minister Stephen Harper.
To confirm a government decision to join our allies in launching airstrikes against ISIL.
Canada is joining the fight against Islamic
The story that's becoming big right now is what's happening in Iraq. The borders are being redrawn. The battle lines are really the fault lines of what's going to collapse, how the Middle East could potentially collapse, what America is going to do in the region. It's the center of oil politics. And it is the worst reckoning of America's invasion of Iraq that they could have conceived of with the creation and advance of ISIS. And at the same time, you've got the whole map of the Kurdish struggle being completely redrawn. They're fighting ISIS on every front, in the process carving out a potential for their own sovereignty, their own self-determination out of this. Oh, thanks. Is that? Oh, that's good. Thanks. Cheers. Do you like tomato? I don't.
Yeah, put it.
All right, eat your damn food. Put down the damn camera.
What?
Eat your damn food and put down the damn camera. Hi, it's Jesse calling. How are you doing?
Hi, Jesse. Fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Is now a good time?
Yeah.
Well, so what I'm looking at doing is was planning on going to eastern Turkey for about a week or so, and then going to northern Iraq.
Is there any specific thing that you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in talking to people who've been, in Kurdistan, who've been fighting on the various different fronts, whether they've been in Kobani or whether they've been in northern Iraq.
I don't know if you can reach that kind of people, who have been in Kobani, because, people don't tell this ways to really,
How about people that have been fighting in northern Iraq?
Oh, that's more difficult.
Really? Okay.
It's more difficult.
Is it possible to meet with people from the PKK or anything like that?
How I can say, many people are sympathizers of PKK, but me personally, I don't know anyone like that, who's from PKK,
No, I understand. I'm also wondering, what are the rates that you would charge per day, kind of thing?
150 euro per day.
150 euro per day. No, that's good to know. All right, thanks so much. So yeah, I really appreciate it. She sounds good, but what I'm not sure about is whether she's saying she doesn't have PKK contacts because we're talking over the phone. They're an illegal organization in this country.
And they're terrorists for
yeah, they're
for accidental.
Yeah, I mean they're considered a terrorist organization here. And so getting those kinds of contacts are anyway, it's difficult. Hi, it's Jesse calling. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Jesse. I'm fine, thank you.
I'm calling you through Skype because I just don't trust the Turkish cell phones. Call me paranoid, but Skype I know is more of an encrypted network. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, one of the story I really want to do right now is I want to report on the PKK fighters that are fighting ISIS in Iraq. Yeah. Is it possible to meet with them, and is it possible to travel with them, interview them?
I think it is possible, yes. I think it is possible to travel with them, yeah. I'll try to find some people from PKK.
Yeah, because that is the story I want to do.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So I guess should we be in touch a little later today then, or whenever you figure things out? Just send me an email or give me a call or something.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. You too. All the best. Bye-bye. That went very well.
He's willing to do everything what you want to do.
Yeah, he seems to think it's all possible. I've also developed a pitch for a 1-week reporting trip in the KRG that involves meeting with the PKK units in Iraq. They have been the most effective fighters in pushing back ISIS. New understanding of what the local boots on the ground are fighting for, and give a critical close-up look at the largest group of anti-Islamist foreign fighters in Iraq. Good. Sent! I hope this works.
Why?
Because I really want to write the Iraq story. Such a damn good story.
Thank you.
This is not uncommon, the idea of waiting for something to happen. Newsrooms move slowly. They are cautious when it comes to taking risks, especially on freelancers. They know it's an important story, but we'll see whether they decide they want to budget for it or not. Warzone insurance, hotel, fixer for 7 days. That's a fuck ton of money.
Is it one of the most expensive trips that you will be doing?
It's likely to be that, yeah. My minimal estimates, $5,000.
Oh yeah, because you have the flag jacket in it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, those are just expenses. Then there's what I get paid per article, and I have to hope my editors decide that they still think it's worthwhile. After you send a budget and some time passes, we'll see what happens. People change their mind, and then it's only me that loses out in the end. Hi, Mom. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm good.
Yes, are you tired?
No, I think it's the lighting in here.
Okay, so when you planning on going off when?
I mean, I'd like to get going early this week, like Monday, Tuesday. But I have to get budget approval, that sort of thing.
What if they say it's too expensive?
Then I fight them. And then if they keep up with that position, then I go to someone else.
Okay, Jess, so let us know every day how you are.
Well,
I'm okay is a very nice thing to say.
Well, how does this sound? I mean, I'll be fine in Istanbul until I tell you that I'm going to Iraq. So, and
Okay, then. Stay well. We'll speak to you soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Love you lots. All the best. Bye-bye.
A little earlier, Sue Turton sent us this report on how Yazidis are now joining Kurdish fighters in the battle against ISIL.
We head to the Sinjar Mountains with the man in charge of the Yazidi volunteer force. But with ISIL surrounding on 3 sides, we've no choice but to climb a 5-kilometre uphill hike. So now we're walking up the mountain because the
I really should be there now, getting the story. The editor should really move and commission this already, and then we can go.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
The 6th suspected hostage has now been seen from that cafe.
This is basically the big story that's been consuming the news for the past 24 hours. Which is exactly why we've had such a damn quiet day today.
These are the live pictures after that. There must be a lot of training involved to handle a situation like this. Robin, we were talking about time limits before.
Hey, Jesse, how are you? Where are you?
No.
Are you in Istanbul or are you down on the border?
No, I'm in Istanbul. Yeah, I was wondering if you guys had a chance to talk about Iraq.
You know, we didn't. Things were so hectic with the siege in Sydney today that we didn't have a chance to do it. How dangerous do you think it's going to be? How hairy do you think it's going to be?
I think it's, from everything I've heard, it's actually pretty doable. It's a risk because it's Iraq and it's a war, but it doesn't sound... It doesn't sound like down south, for example, in Iraq.
What was the bottom line on the budget?
With the flak, it was 47.
And without the flak, how much would that be? Nothing to go naked into the battle.
Right. But yeah, knock off 1,300. 1,385.
Yeah. Well, let me get in touch with Doc about that. I think the staying in Sydney is over. So
Yeah.
have to calm down with that. So there you go. All right.
Okay, cool. Should I give you a call, or should we just do this over email, or?
If you don't hear from me, give me a call.
Will do. Talk to you then. All right, all the best. Bye. Just as I suspected.
Yeah. said no?
Yeah. They said it was a good story, even. Just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Yeah, we're flying into the airport. So if we can work together tomorrow and the day after, that would be great. Oh well, don't worry. We can pay for your gas. We'll pay you all the money for the gas. So that's not a problem. Oh, by the way, if you need to know what I look like, I've got a red beard. If you need to know what I look like, my beard is red. I have a big red beard. Oh, okay. If you need to know how I look, I've got a big red beard on my face. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. It's okay. Yep, we're off to southeast Turkey and the refugee camps. Just on the Turkish side of Kobani. We're gonna hear their stories, how they feel about the war, how they feel about Turkey. Try and find out how the fight against ISIS is going. My life is an eternal struggle, symbolized in packing a bag to go on a trip. Yeah, no, it's good to get on the story finally.
You're going on your own now?
Yeah, there's the stories that I'm gonna find, and then I'll be able to publish them with someone.
Passengers will be responsible for observing the outside conditions, opening the exit, and directing passengers to these exits.
Hello? Oh. Hi, Mohammed. Good to meet you. Hi, Jesse. How many people live in each of these tents?
How many people in one tent?
Yeah.
It depends. Between 3 members until 15 members.
Wow. Sure. Yeah, that would be great. السلام عليكم. مرحبا السلام عليكم.
نبي ميجي محمد اجيش كوباني ما جندي ميجي حمدوني.
He says, my name is Muhammad and I'm from the Dois Hamdoun, from Kobani.
And why did you flee?
حمدون دار كتم إيريش 11
I flee because ISIS were attacking us.
Can you tell me about the things that you saw ISIS doing with your own eyes?
ده بيجي انه تكوني تبخا عم بيجي جمارة بيجي تشي تبتشوفي خديكو داعش تشتكي تبتشوفي خدي مرسل سري كسي قطك دعوي تشتوك تشوفي خبا
قيزك بشل في التعازيد كيرن سري وقد كرتم دار دخست
they are taking clothes off a girl and they behead it. They make the girl naked and after that they behead it.
لو تم سواتي تمام بسم ما أنا بيجدوني كمان بالقدس كرانكنا. So
he says like many journalists have come here and
ما
he says that they don't care about us. Many journalists have come here and they have done nothing. Say like it's like a lie.
لا عرفوا الدين لا عرفوا الإيمان لا عرفوا الدنيا تعرفون شريعة تعرفون خراب ما تعرفون كذاب من الكذاب ولا الكذاب.
What do you want the journalists to do?
دبيت طيب شي قاس تجي تخوزي تشبكن
قاسي ما ممكن مهاجر أمولا مجيش
لا أو دبيجة إنه تجي صحفي أنت تخوزي صحفي اشترى تشبكن
جاي تسكينه كنا تسكت جاي مرة شبكة بس يصحى
أو شيء بينك وبين ما ما كنت
they are like they cannot do anything for us but they can show what we say to the people.
ما هو جاي وش كذا مرة شبكة
كيف كذا ما ولا كل كل شبكة مرة.
Do you feel your story is not being heard?
Here?
Does he feel that his story is not being told to the world?
Okay. دبي إنه تحسي إنه مرسل أميجن قوتني تا إنه نجش نكسي. عالم تنحسي.
أنا والله نزول.
He say I don't know.
How do you feel about the role that Turkey is playing in this war?
Turkey دبي أريم الشعبي كرمان استقبال كرناه. دسرد بيهم استقبال كر والبيت دريبن ودبر دسرد جي تشنا دند دي داعش.
He says Turkish government.
تشنا دعم داعش.
Feel other
ما
countries
شو دري
that
هذا
I
فجران
accept
دين.
Kurdish people and they are in my country and on the other side they are supporting ISIS.
Thank you very, very much. Are those tanks over there?
Turkish tanks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is the end of the line?
Yeah, you cannot go because
Sorry, what?
This is Kobani.
So Kobani's right here. How far so where's the actual border?
Do you see this village?
Yeah.
After this village is the main gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
How close can we walk?
No, because do you see this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Turkish.
Turkish, yeah, or they will prevent us. This is the last one.
Okay. It's quite an explosion. Those are Turkish tanks. Yeah, if they wanted to, they could launch artillery into Kobani. But they just watch and guard their border and keep an eye on the slaughter that they clearly have no intention of doing anything about. Anyway, it's getting dark. We should probably get going. We got a flight to catch. We're going in?
Yeah!
ISIS is around this area?
Yeah! No, I'm joking. If we were in a place where ISIS was, okay?
Yeah.
So there we will see a lot of checkpoints.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sending an update to my editor, letting him know where we are.
Your editor said yes?
Yeah.
76 kilometers from Mosul.
Yeah. And Kuwait is
26.
Yeah.
You see, in my sector, you see this orange line?
Yeah.
Well, this is under ISIL controlling this area. Half of this mountain because there is a road.
Yeah.
And here till here was all under ISIL when I arrived here.
That was where the attack was yesterday?
No, yesterday was just crossing the river again from here and here.
Is it possible we can visit them, see them? Or
I will see the coordinator if they are there now or
Yeah. And then, so we're going to meet the units, yeah?
Yeah, they are. just looking what it is or not. Okay, I said to you, you have to take a picture for me.
Yeah.
Do you have possible? Cool. No, it's just.
Yeah, What are they shooting at?
Just for fun.
Oh, that's always nice. Let's go down and take a look at this. That
airstrikes is not normal.
Yeah. Or a grenade or something.
Grenade, airstrikes, depends He's Commander Zillion.
Can you describe for me the circumstance in which you killed these fighters and tell me about the battle that happened?
وإيمش لسرق سي بريزيان خومن عازر كردو وتيرولستان ساعات يجي شوي أوان هجوميان كرد.
The terrorists, ISIS terrorists, they attacked at 1 a.m. on the night o'clock. And we attacked them and hit them very hardly. As you can see, we also have captured a lot of bodies of ISIS terrorists. And they also suffered a lot, and we had many bodies in our hands. We thank the coalition forces, especially United States, Germany.
And who from the coalition flew the airstrikes last night?
کی لایند هزی ها پیمانان و که طیاره بجدار بین امریکا بکی بی. The United States airplane.
And are you taking on increasing casualties as you advance?
كپیشمرگ شهید بورتان چون دبیتن.
Of your fighters, I mean.
When Peshmerga become martyrs, or we lost one of our comrades, we become more brave and more active in defending our position and our countries.
It'd be good if we could travel with a Peshmerga unit that's patrolling on the front.
I don't think we have to ask them, okay? Because if there isn't any permission from them, we cannot go by.
Of course.
Even their own press, Kurdish TV, they don't let them. But fire shooting, there are military people and military intelligence information. They don't let you go.
Right. What I want to do is see what the southern front looked like.
Can you follow an American or Canadian without permission?
Well, you can usually you can usually get an in-bed with them, where they'll.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking crazy. Barbaric acts breed barbaric acts, but like the way that they were driving around with those bodies hogtied to the front of that car, or to the back of that car. I mean, you know.
Well, you're ready for.
I have no love of ISIS, and you know, they were the Pesh were fully within their rights to. To kill the ISIS fighters, but that kind of denigration of bodies, it's not just anti-ISIS sentiment. It's from the Peshmerga. You have, and you know, a lot of Kurds you speak to, you have a general anti-Arab resentment. There's a strong idea of not wanting to live with Arabs. I mean, they've got money, they've got oil, they've got effective independence. All they need is recognition at this point, and they just want to live with themselves. It's just bloody frustrating.
And now you have an article to finish for tomorrow.
Yep. In the morning, a few miles from the new front lines, 2 trucks carrying the ISIS fighters' corpses pulled up on the edge of a village abandoned last summer. The blown-apart bodies of several of the dead jihadists were loosely tied to the bumper of a flatbed truck. The soldiers swarmed around the corpses, some snapping photos with their phones while others spit into the wounds and gashes of the dead. Kurdish troops taking selfies with ISIS corpses. Top story. I'm interested in planning a trip to Kirkuk today, to the city, and was wondering if you can help me coordinate it. Okay, thanks so much. What did you say?
He says it's not possible today because they are in front line and they have fighting. They've given us an opportunity to visit them tomorrow.
Okay.
And what we needed also provide us security, providing us assistance to go where we want.
So the question is, do we actually need Peshmerga security detail, or can you operate because...
We need it.
No,
we need it. If there is Peshmerga with you, it's easy, no problem. But as civilian, you will enter into problem. You would like to be free without have Peshmerga around you. That's right.
I'm curious. What I'm trying to understand is whether it's necessary to have them.
It is necessary. Would you like to be captured and hijacked, or would you like?
No.
Do you know the security situation in Kirkuk?
That's what I'm trying to ascertain. What we actually
that's
need.
The reason.
Well, no, because sometimes you just need army permission to cross checkpoints. Sometimes you need a full security detail. I'm trying to understand what the situation is.
I personally can't do that without having security forces with me if it is Kirkuk, as I don't know how Kirkuk it is. I have never been there. It is a multi-ethnic city. I personally feel unsecure.
But whether...
I will not come with you if there is no Peshmerga. You can go by your own. Yeah?
We're off to Sinjar Mountain to look into the atrocities that have been committed against the Yazidi population.
We have to stop for the permission.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
The checkpoints we're going to be going through down around Sinjar are pretty strict, and it's a pretty active front line, so it'll be dicey, and we need to have all our ducks in order. The weather's pretty shit today. Isn't it more difficult for snipers to see us? Holy shit, what happened here? Can we stop for a minute? Okay. What point should we throw our flak jackets on? Still safe?
باش كاك جانا ماشي راسك هو جندي سيبيا كامل يا جندي سيبيا
This is Sibia or this is? Oh, is anyone here? Santiago, put this on. It's yours. If snipers are within 1 kilometer here, yeah, might just want to put these on. These are PKK flags. There's a big plume of smoke coming right out from there. Yeah, it's people on the run. They're just dropping everything they had. مرحبا. I was in Gaza. I saw some pretty terrible shit. Like body parts sticking out of piles of rubble.
Yeah, that's their front lines. So you see these buildings?
Yeah.
That's their front lines.
All right, I'll grab my helmet. Thanks.
He said, this house is bombed right now. If you go inside, it will blow up.
Which one?
That house.
Come on.
All right.
Is it crazy to go there, huh?
Separate.
What?
Separate from each other.
Right.
Me, I go where? It's a good day.
Yeah, we gotta separate from each other, man. And you have to keep an eye out in front of you.
They're shooting from where?
They're shooting at us. Merhaba.
You want to go to see ISIS? You want to see ISIS?
Can we? Can we get closer? Or?
تقريبا 6 كيلو
It will be like 300 meters. We will be away from the ISIS me. Yeah.
Are you guys comfortable doing it?
Yes, I'm okay with it.
Okay, let's do it. Are you comfortable doing it, Santiago?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
To be honest,
I'm not.
yeah, I don't think it's necessary to go to go 150 meters close. I mean, for maybe it's up to Santiago for his footage. I know what's going on over there.
What they say?
They say it's dangerous.
They say it's dangerous?
So it's up to you, Santiago. It's for your footage.
What is the chance to die?
There's no calculation on these things. We could be hit with a rocket right now. So like. So Santiago, you have to make a decision as to what the hell you want.
Okay, we go.
What do you think? It's your story.
Yeah, we go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
let's go.
See for this.
What do you like?
You can lift your camera up, but you got to keep your head fucking down. Yeah. So, Santiago, for filming, there's a gun hole over there.
Oh,
you can put your camera through it, but keep your head the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Keep your head further down, crouch down, lift it above your head. Okay, so let's get the fuck out of here because we got a bunch to do. So how long have you been on this particular front line for?
چند دارن نقول برندم
هو تقريبا
15 days.
15.
Is this territory you captured from ISIS?
Yes.
Are you coordinating with the U.S. forces for airstrikes around here?
قال ترجع أمريكا اتصالا جوها يعني.
Do you know how many you killed in the airstrike yesterday?
شاد هاتنا كشتن لا هواي جينا كتارك.
دي طيارة أو دي أول تقريبا 16 نفر تو موبون بريندور.
We have from them there 13 casualties like dead and injured, and after that we went there and we attacked them, but we don't know how many.
Okay. There's spots.
That's right.
All right, let's get going. Okay, remember, keep your head down.
Look, you see this? All these are representing a person like they beheaded there.
Jesus.
1, 2, 3, it is 37. And there are some of them here.
Jesus.
أجبر ها أفضل إذا قتليني ري أفنها أو ها أبى بكيري هاد يسرجي كرن.
Like knife, they
slit the throat. And this is.
سروي ديواري سرجي كربون.
And they were lined up here.
Lined up where?
In this edge. There. You can see this.
Okay.
Look, it's a pictures of here.
It's terrible.
يوم ما قال شيء ناس كرن خلق يقول هاوي دوانجي بيربون.
He's from the village and he saw the ID
يعني
cards.
شخصي ناسم.
And he knows some of them personally.
وبرانيا وانجي سروي ديواري سرجي كربون.
They put all of them at the age and they cut their heads.
هر جيه کی خویناویه موجود. مشكلة كناش لغمة الأرضي دابانا دريا بانا ما يقلق بس مشكلاتان هم نبيرن بقرين نشبر لغمة.
He said you cannot go to those areas because they are mines.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry this has happened to you and your people. That mass grave is fucking astonishing. They beheaded them on the front of the fucking, like, organized by age? Yeah?
Those written by ISIS.
What did it say?
Abu Bakr Baghdadi.
This is Salam Ahmad Khalaf. منهج النبوة.
What is it wrote, you said?
The name of, leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. By the way, you guys really came through today. Good work. You guys did fucking awesome. I'm sorry if I became an asshole under the stress, by the way.
Rashkaka, Patan, we can sort it out in Nervi. Don't worry.
What? Yeah. Us being the only cars on the road right now, basically. There are two Peshmerga soldiers that happen to be walking by. They're not kind of looking out for us. You know, an amazing Hail Mary where our asses have been saved. Hopefully.
زانتي بزفري نفسه تقريبا وصل.
That's not good. That is good. Thank Christ.
Yes.
Well done.
That's
Close
over.
bus.
Azizi, bro. Let's go.
This was the bane of our existence, the cause of our problems. The thing that nearly had us sleeping in a car a couple kilometers from ISIS in a frontline zone. And the taxi driver had 3 of these in his car, by chance. Which raises the question of how often does shit go that wrong here? Oh, putting old Blue back in the bag. Hopefully I won't need to bust it out in Lebanon.
And this time the flak jacket was useful?
Well, I thought I needed it when the snipers were shooting in our general direction. I don't know about you. But yeah, no, this trip I spent a lot of time on the front line. Had that Gaza quality to it.
Now you have the feeling that you're starting to follow those wars for a long time in the Middle East.
Yeah, I'm starting to report on Iraq now. It's not like I'm just going to make it a one-trip thing. The Iraq War was something I grew up with. I remember when I was 6 and saw on TV that the Americans and the West went in the first time. And then I was starting university when they went in for the full-scale invasion. It's no different than anyone else in my generation that's grown up with the recent history of the West constantly at war with Iraq and destroying its people in the process. But what we've done to this country and what we refuse to acknowledge in terms of our role in creating the current reality and the kinds of enemies that we constantly look to create for ourselves because it's useful. We pulled this country apart. We are the ones that set in motion the kinds of divisions. We sure exacerbated and played on all the local divisions and tensions that were there, but we brought them to the surface and we played them off against each other. From backing Shia dominance to the awakening councils and then giving the Sunnis nothing to de-Baathification, to the shock and awe of an invasion that kills over 1 million people and brutally occupies them all the way to fucking Abu Ghraib. We don't think we're responsible, but we are astonishingly naive. Everyone says that we know so much more because of the digital age, but yet we can even forget what happened or its ramifications of 6 fucking years ago. It's not like the internet wasn't there then. It's because those in power and those that like the way things are see it in their interest to completely forget these things.
May we ask you now to fasten your seatbelts, put your seat back in the upright position. Ensure that your hand luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead locker.
Alright, well, here we go into the nexus of travel. Things are always ending and beginning. It's like a snake eating its own tail. You never really know where it begins or ends. Or if it begins or ends. Is it really eating the tail?
One year after fighting between Gaza militants and Israel, the Palestinian enclave remains heaped with ruins.
Unfortunate, yet lawful. That's how an Israeli report described last year's military actions that killed more than 2,200
Israel's actions were legitimate and legal. The Palestinian Authority, though, has accused Israel of war crimes at the International Criminal Court, even though the UN has said that they were committed by both sides.
It's like a systematic line of demolition. They just blew up everything this way and bombed it. Yeah.
I have a man.
Wallah.
Hundreds of migrants and refugees are brought to shore on the Greek island of Lesbos on Monday. These men, women and children started their sea crossing in Turkey, the final leg of a voyage to reach Europe, which for many began in war-torn Syria.
This is a massive flow of people. Who are these people? What are they fleeing? Which societies are they coming from? What stories do they bring with them? What have they gone through in the process? What are they facing? How these people broke the long-established walls of Fortress Europe. What does it mean when the consequences of that come upon our own shores, and how do we react as a society? I try and tell stories that encapsulate and demonstrate the human impact of what's going on. How it is that people live in unjust systems of both war and occupation, who makes those decisions, and how people look at responding to it, with the hope of engaging my readers to actually do something about it. I don't just write things so that people can understand them and say, oh, that's terrible, or oh, well, these are difficult things that are happening in the world, or oh, now I understand what's going on. If people don't do something about it, I don't consider my work to be useful. Thank you so much. Oh, that's my bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.